Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to look up when fall practice starts and I can't find it. It's got to start sometime this month. Yeah, I don't know. Bueller. Matt Doomit. When does Georgia's practice start? They call it fall practice. It's really in the summer, but you know, you get the idea. You get the idea. All right. I feel like it's at the end of the month because they get whatever it is, 5 or 6 weeks of practice. Is that right? Before week 1 or week 0 or whatever. Anyway, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, PigskinPeete. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Midday Show. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit early this morning. I did make a community post yesterday afternoon letting everybody know that the show would be starting early, not that much early, just an hour earlier this morning, because there's no morning show with Uncle Lou. They're I don't know if they're there yet or if they're on the way up there or what, but what's in what box? What are you talking about? Box? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Where was I? Oh yeah, so no morning show today, so I decided to start early. Also, tonight, the Lunch Money Show will be on this channel instead of Uncle Lou's main channel. Of course, that's at 10 p.m. We should get an appearance from Edward. Hey, what time did Edward end up shutting down the stream last night? Well, I think I got off right at 12 o'clock on the dot. And I know they were trying to get him to go on as long as he would go on. I was just curious about what time he stopped. Anyway, nothing special planned for today. It's going to be the normal, same old format for the midday show. That's another thing. I think every Friday now for the midday show, I'm going to start and I'm not going to do news on Fridays. I'll do them on the Monday show and on the Wednesday show, but Friday is just going to be like what I did last week. I had a lot of fun last week on the Friday show. It was just kind of like an open panel, if you want to call it a hangout stream or show or whatever, where anybody could come on. And I think as we get into the football season, that's going to be great because all the different types of fans from different teams can come on the panel the day before the games are going to be played, and they can argue with each other. That sounds amazing and fantastic to me. But today, I am going to read the news. And of course, after the news is over with, I will open up the StreamYard, and anybody who wants to come on can come on. I'm trying to figure out the best way to spend the $100 that I'm going to win from Carolina Jackpot. There's several things I think I could buy with $100. But I actually convinced him last night on the Rob and Kale show to bet your boy $100 straight up on Clemson versus Duke. Straight up. No points. Man, some people shouldn't gamble. I'll tell you what. So, who's in here? What's up, Jay? Goose Sports, Nate the Great, Kevron Harris, Jeremy Garrettson, Sea-Dog in the house. Hey, Sea-Dog, how's it coming along with the house, man? I know you're selling it. Or did you sell it? I don't know. I know how much of a pain in the ass that can be. I've been through that before, you know. Actually, I take that back. When we sold our house before you got this one, it was a very, very smooth transaction because we sold it to a family member. So we didn't have to go through a realtor or anything. It was very smooth, actually. But I can imagine, let's put it this way, I can imagine having to stage the house and, you know, have people come to see it. And I'm sure it's a huge pain in the ass. But where was I? Oh, the Nature Boys here. Seminole Seth. Stingray. John Serene. Brad Pitt. Slim. Shady. Canes. Ram Dog. What's up? The Mean Machine. Is that true that Duke will win? Well, if you're asking me, no, it's not. No. Look, did we do our Duke prediction yet? I can't even remember who the hell we did. Now that I've let's see. No, we haven't. You know what we'll do? First of all, I had a request. Had a request from somebody on the Friday night. I think it was the Friday night call-in show. Somebody said, "Have you guys done the prediction for Miami score prediction or record prediction yet for the ACC show?" And I said, "No, we haven't." Here's what we've done. We've done Syracuse, Boston College, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and Georgia Tech. So here's what we'll do. Since Duke is a hot topic right now on the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel, I say we go ahead and do Duke tomorrow on tomorrow's show, and we'll do what was the other one? Miami. Yeah, at request of somebody. So we'll do that. Duke and Miami tomorrow. Let me write that down because you know how bad my memory is. I'll definitely forget. I'll be on there going, which one are we doing today? Duke and Miami. There we go. It's official. Wet Blanket, what's up? Sports Talk 101, good morning to you. The problem is that you have to make it look like nobody lives in the house while you're living in it. Yeah, shit. Forget about it. Forget about it. I'd have to move out. And a lot of people just can't do that. I don't know that we'd be able to either. I think that's why a lot of people, though, like go and get like a month-to-month lease on like an apartment somewhere and put all their, all the extra stuff that they have in their house in like in a storage unit, move into an apartment for however long it takes to sell the house, and that way they don't have to live in it. But that's not cheap either. And then you're paying for a house and an apartment. So, yeah. All right, let's get to the news.
Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, those two, Clemson and Duke, kind of go hand in hand because of you're talking about Uncle Lou's video, because he picked Duke to beat Clemson. He did later admit though that he was kind of just doing that to ruffle feathers and to not make the preview so boring. He was trying to find a game on that schedule that Clemson should definitely win, but could possibly get upset. So that's the one he picked. Not the only one that picked it. Josh Pate picked it too, I guess. Who was Carolina Jackpot clearly picked it. I mean, put $100 on it. So, all right, let's see what's going on in the news today. If anything. Oh, this is a story that Slim Shady Canes will definitely like. Toyota's newest breakthrough could be the kiss of death for gas-powered cars and could hit the market as early as 2027. Here's what I do know. Ford made a massive mistake by transitioning all of their cars to electric, including their muscle cars like the Mustang. Their first quarter profits were a giant failure. A giant failure. Turns out people don't want to drive an electric muscle car. Who would have thought that? Well, I saw one of those things. Have you guys seen that damn thing? The electric Mustang? Holy shit. Take one of the most classic American car body styles and just whoever designed that shit needs to be fired yesterday. I saw one of these things on the road. It looks like a fucking Honda Civic. I was like, what in the hell is going on? What a disgrace to put a Ford Mustang logo on that piece of shit. Good God. That's like these idiots that you see riding around, and it's a BMW, but it's a station wagon. Why would you spend 80 grand on a fucking station wagon? What is wrong with people? Toyota has announced exciting advancements in batteries for electric vehicles, which are pointing to longer battery life as far as early as 2026. The breakthrough occurred in two fronts: increased optimization of lithium-ion batteries and advancement in solid-state batteries for electric vehicles. So they made a better battery. Finding lithium-ion batteries will result in increased battery life and shorter charge time, common concerns among prospective EV buyers. Current EVs allow for approximately 330 miles on one charge. while the updated battery could handle up to 621 miles. So essentially going to just less than double the range for the battery. But I have a feeling that you're going to pay for it. You know what I mean? The batteries are going to, first of all, the batteries are already insanely expensive if you have to replace them in an electric vehicle. It doesn't matter what kind of electric vehicle you have. It's, excuse me, whether it's a Tesla or whatever, Toyota. But now they're just going to be even more expensive, They don't make, nothing gets cheaper, especially when they make improvements. Solid state batteries would take that even further, allowing for approximately 745 miles on one charge, created for items like pacemakers and smartwatches. They are similar in structure to lithium-ion batteries, but historically have not been durable enough to support electric vehicles. Yeah. Currently, it costs about half as much to power an electric car than it does gasoline-powered vehicle. Yeah, until you need to replace the batteries. Hey, look, don't get me wrong. We've had this discussion before on the show about the electric versus gas people. There's certainly a place for electric cars, and there's also certainly a place for gas cars. Like, I don't think, like, people that love gas cars hate electric cars. People who have electric cars hate gas cars. I don't know why you can't like both. I mean, I think Teslas are pretty damn cool. Have you ever been in one? It's like a spaceship, and they're fast too. But it's just like I said. There's a Tesla's a Tesla, and a Dodge Challenger is a Dodge Challenger. You don't want both. I mean, you don't want your Challenger to be electric, or your Mustang. At least I don't. How is this a news story? Manager pushed out of the way while trying to stop two suspects stealing from the Gwinnett Bass Pro Shops. All right, they got me. I guess there's a video of it. Nobody hates the electric Mustang more than Selene. I bet. Has he done a rant on that?
Gwinnett County Police just released this video of the moment a store manager tried to stop two men from stealing. You can see one of the suspects pushing the manager while trying to get away with nearly $3,000 worth of items from the Bass Pro Shop. Witnesses saw him leave in a silver Toyota Corolla with a Georgia license plate 2ER3281. If you recognize these men, call.
Shit.
Take on the day with Taltz.
Hey, you walk right in the store with a shopping cart full of shit and walk right out, huh? Man. Two men are on the run after officials say they stole high-valued merchandise from a local sporting goods store. Gwinnett County Police, that's in Georgia, right? Gwinnett County? Gwinnett County Police said on July 2nd, two men entered the Bass Pro Shop on Sugarloaf Parkway. While in the store, officials said that suspects grabbed four items valued at over $2,636 and bypassed each cash register. That's it. That's the story. I like how they say two men on the run, like they robbed a bank or something, I'd like to know what was in that shopping cart. That's what I want to know. Did this guy go steal a bunch of camping shit? A couple of fishing poles? What was it? I would like to see Celine do a rant on that electric Mustang. You know, if he hasn't done that, he's missed a prime opportunity for good material. Oh, here's a feel good story for you. It's also sports related too. Imagine that. Disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar stabbed multiple times at Florida federal prison. Shocker. That guy just looks like a weirdo. Doesn't he? So he got shanked, bro.
Casket!
Disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar, who was convicted of sexually abusing female gymnasts, including Olympic medalists, was stabbed multiple times in an altercation with another inmate at federal prison in Florida. Two people familiar with the matter told the Associated Press the attack happened Sunday at the United States Penitentiary Coleman. The people said that he was in stable condition as of Monday. One of the people said Nassar had been stabbed in the back and in the chest. The prison was experiencing they always have staff shortages. The cameras didn't work that day. You know. I have a theory for you. The guards let it happen because he's a tool bag and they don't like him. What do you think about that? Yeah. Officers assigned to the unit where Nassar was held were working mandated overtime shifts. The people were not authorized to publicly discuss details of the attack or the ongoing investigation and spoke to the AP on the condition of an anonymity. So, see, they go on, they really want you to know that they have a staffing problem. So nothing to see here. Nassar is serving decades in prison for convictions in state and federal courts. He admitted sexually assaulting athletes when he worked at Michigan State University at an Indianapolis-based USA Gymnastics, which trains Olympians. Separately, Nassar pled guilty to possessing child pornography. This guy's a real winner. He's a real winner. Yeah, I wonder why someone would want to stab a guy like that. I can't figure it out. So, the only really problem is this. I said it was a feel-good story. It's actually kind of a sad story. It didn't have a happy ending. The happy ending would be if he was dead. Does outer space end or does it go on forever? Uh-oh. What do you guys think? Yeah, they don't know. I'm not even going to read that. I'm going to say yes. How about that? I say yes, it goes on forever. Well, I'm just going to stick with that. You know? People are absolutely livid about the deceptive new Tennessee law. Name it what it is. Bribery. In April, Tennessee adopted a new law that requires state government to consider planet overheating. Planet overheating methane gas as a clean energy source. For those who don't know what methane gas is, that's what comes out of your ass when you fart. Okay? Methane, methane, whatever you want to call it. Cow farts, bro. Methane gas, sometimes called natural gas, which is kind of mostly methane but contains other gases. It's an energy source similar to oil and coal. Burning natural gas creates air pollution and heat-trapping gases, including carbon dioxide. though relatively less than oil or coal. Methane gas is also a heat-trapping gas itself. When it escapes into the atmosphere due to leaks and faulty equipment, it has up to 80 times the effect of our planet's temperature that carbon pollution would. Yeah, this is one of the reasons that Bill Gates wants everybody to eat bugs and fake meat, so that we don't have cows farting and polluting the planet. You know. Grasshoppers, bro. I don't even care about this. A Vermont police officer, age 19, wow, that's young, died in a crash with a burglary suspect she was chasing. This Shell gas station removed all of its gas pumps. Now it's being called the gas station of the future. What? Look at that. Oh, you see why? It removed all of its gas pumps and put in charging stations for your electric cars. We have a couple, not gas stations, but we have a couple of areas around here where they have like a bunch of charging stations. I know for one at the outlet mall here, they have an area specifically for Teslas. Actually, I think they're Tesla charging ports. There's like a couple of dozen of them in one spot. One London gas station has totally re-imaged what refueling area can look like. So this is in England. Since the beginning of 2022, the Shell gas station at Fulham, England, has removed all of its gas pumps to instead offer rapid electric vehicle chargers for those who need to recharge. The awnings over each charger are equipped with solar panels that can fully charge a Tesla Model 3 in about a half of an hour, costing around $39. And this gas station is far more luxurious than what most people are used to. Yeah, see, that's weird because I don't know, okay, but I always assumed that all of those Tesla charging stations that are all posted all over the country, like I was just talking about a minute ago, you don't have to pay for that, do you? I'm pretty sure you just go, if you just find one and you can just plug your car in and wait. I don't know, but according to this, they're charging these people for the electricity and it's solar. It says right here, costing around $39. I guess if they're not selling gas, they have to find a way to make money. I get that, but what's up, SE Tiger fan 803? Because charging electric vehicles takes longer than pumping gas, the station offers more food and activities for customers while they wait. People charging their cars can get groceries, buy coffee, get their car washed, even take a breather in the lounge chairs. Yeah. Actually, the reality is that a lot of people don't understand that these gas stations, especially the ones that are privately owned by and not a giant corporation like Shell or Exxon, but mom and pop type gas station, they don't make that much money off of per gallon of gas. They really make their money off of beer, cigarettes, All that kind of stuff inside the convenience store. That's their biggest moneymaker, not gas. I mean, I think they literally only make a few pennies, off of each gallon of gas they sell. There's really nothing. They just use the gas as a means to get people to come in there and buy shit. Bro. Missing 14-year-old girl found in Marine Corps barracks. Oh, I can't. Well, I'm going to read this, but I already see the next story I'm going to read. San Diego County Sheriff's Office said that military police found a missing teenager at Camp Pendleton 2 weeks after she disappeared. That's it. That's the fucking article. Wow. Great story. Yeah, so then that's it. I was a little curious about, what she was doing there and, why she, was she kidnapped? Did she leave on her own? Was she being held hostage? What was going on? But nope, they don't want to let us know any of that. But they did find her, so that's good. I'm glad she's okay. Yes. Alligators in the garden and community living in fear of the next fatal attack. Got to be in Florida, right? This has got to be in Florida. Whenever new neighbors moved in, Holly Jenkins was the first to warn them about lethal threat lurking in the gardens. Having lived in Spanish Wells, a 400-acre private community on the peninsula of Hilton Head. Okay, this is in South Carolina, not Florida. South Carolina for about 30 years. Mrs. Jenkins, 69, knew she was sharing her little corner of paradise with the island's native alligators. So when her body was found in the clutches of a 10-foot alligator in a lagoon just 100 yards from her home on the morning of July 4th, her death shocked the community. She wasn't some absent, feeble-minded elderly woman that didn't have knowledge of how aggressive alligators can be, who was walking her little dog too close to a pond. So they're saying that she wasn't one of these careless people that goes around fucking with alligators, or walking their dog next to a pond that's filled with alligators. These awful attacks keep happening. I'm afraid they're not going to make any changes until until it happens to a child. Unheard of in South Carolina before 2016, 6 fatal alligator attacks have since rocked the coastal state, half of which have happened within the last 13 months. Several of the attacks have taken place on Hilton Head, where homes can cost up to $10 million. Known as the Hamptons of the South, it has 12 miles of sandy beaches, 40 golf courses, and 11 gated communities. Hilton Head is nice. I gotta tell you that. It is nice. Last summer, less than 20 miles away from where Mrs. Jenkins was attacked, Nancy Becker, age 88, was killed by a 9-foot alligator when she was gardening by a lagoon near the home. Her family is suing developers for wrongful death. What? Are you suing developers for somebody getting eaten by an alligator? The hell? Sue the alligator. So, yeah, we have tons of alligators in Charleston. I mean, they're everywhere. I can grow up around alligators. Shit, we We were in the lake last week for the 4th of July weekend, swimming around in the hell. There was thousands of people out there swimming and boating and skiing and whatever else. That lake is filled with alligators. Filled. Just normal around here, you know what I mean? Nobody's really, people that live here just aren't really scared of them. I'm not really. I mean, I wouldn't walk up to one like some of these idiots do. I'm not that stupid. You know, if I see one, I'm going to stay away from it. But I'm not scared that one's going to come get me. Bro. Yeah, they don't, and generally they don't want nothing to do with humans. I guess unless you're an old lady. What is it about these alligators on Hilton Head? They love eating old ladies. I mean, both these ladies were in their 80s. They were talking about. Alligators. All they are is dinosaurs. They're freaking dinosaurs. People say dinosaurs are extinct. No, they're not. Alligator, bro. Freaking dinosaur. Listen to this story. Las Vegas police officers set to go on trial over $165,000 stolen in 3 casino heists. Dirty cop robbing the casinos, bro. A trial for a Las Vegas police officer accused of stealing nearly $165,000 in a series of casino heists is set to begin on Monday, with prosecutors painting him as a gambling addict who grew increasingly desperate under a crush of debt. Prosecutors claim Caleb Rogers, age 35, carried out 3 robberies over a span of 4 months while armed with a weapon issued by the police department. So he's not the brightest bulb. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's out there using his service pistol to rob. What an idiot. I mean, look, at least have the courtesy, if you're going to be a criminal, to be a regular criminal. Go out and buy a gun illegally from some guy in a back alley. Don't use your service pistol, you idiot. Yeah, birds are dinosaurs too. Rogers' attorney Richard Pocker says the government's evidence allegedly tying Rogers to 2 of the robberies is weak. He accused the FBI and Las Vegas Metropolitan Police detectives of pressuring 2 people, including Rogers' brother, into identifying him as the suspect in the robberies to close out the cases. Rogers made off with more than $85,000 in the first 2 robberies between November 2021 and January 2022 at casinos off of the Las Vegas Strip, while his police colleagues spent months trying to catch the thief. Rogers nearly bagged an additional $79,000 in a 3rd robbery at the Rio Al Suite Hotel and Casino in February of 2022. But security guards detained him outside following a brief struggle. Well, how is he saying he's claiming it wasn't him, right? That's what they just said, right? His attorney's saying that he's not the thief, but now they're saying that he was detained outside of a casino following a brief struggle. So it was him. What? The robber's approach was essentially the same in all 3 crimes. He wore a face mask, dark clothing, and black latex gloves. After a cashier's handed over the money, he placed the cash inside of a bag underneath his jacket. Then the suspect with the unique gait. What? Unique gait ran back to his vehicle, limping because of a problem with his leg. A professor at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, whose expertise includes hotel and casino operations, said casino heists are hard to successfully pull off. Yeah, they are. I mean, there's a bunch of armed security in these casinos, a lot. Anybody who's ever been to a casino. And I'm sure for every one that you see, there's probably 2 more that you don't. that don't come out unless some shit goes down. You know what I mean? The chances that you get caught or identified is very high, he said, because of a combination of robust casino security teams with uniformed guards and plainclothes officers. Yeah, that's the other thing. Lots of plainclothes type people that look like they're just there, patronizing just like you. But they're not. Rogers was a 7-year police veteran employed by Las Vegas Metro Police as an active duty patrol officer at the time of the robberies. He remains employed, but is on unpaid leave, quote unquote, without police powers. What the hell does that mean? We can't arrest anybody? Good. Pending the outcome of the criminal case, a department spokesperson said. The testifying will include casino cashiers, security guards, and Josiah Rogers, who's identified his brother on a video captured by casino security cameras in the first 2 robberies, prosecutors said last week. Nothing that Josiah Rogers will be granted immunity from legal action. Caleb Rogers, who's also denied bail, has been in custody for charges since his arrest. Used his brother's car in one of the robberies and instructed him to get rid of it shortly thereafter. In the third alleged robbery, Rogers parked an unregistered minivan outside of the casino and entered there just before 7 a.m., while employees at the casino's sports book prepared to open. He wore body armor underneath his clothing and was armed with a department-issued revolver with a yellow sticker covering its serial number. He climbed over the counter, shoved one of the 2 cashiers who was loading cash into the registers from a plastic bag containing $119,000 and yelled that he had a gun. As he shoved the money into the bag into his jacket, loose bills floated out onto the casino floor. Sounds like a movie. A group of security guards caught up to the suspect just after he made it past the casino's exit. He drew his weapon and asked the guards if they were willing to be shot over this, before one of them grabbed the gun. Damn, that's a ballsy move. I don't think they train you to do that. I don't think it's a good idea if someone's got a gun on you to try to grab it. That's really a good way to get shot. Anyway, so my man goes on trial this week. I mean, this is a pretty damn clear. I mean, it's not that great, but at least you can see something. You know what I mean? In his face right here. Like somebody who knows him should be able to say, yeah, that's him. Yeah, that guy's going to prison. I'll tell you that. Oh, so here's the rest of the story that we didn't get before. Looks like another news outlet might actually tell us what happened. Courtesy of NBC News. A Marine was detained last month after a 14-year-old missing girl was found in the barracks of California base. Military police at the Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton on Oceanside found a teenager on June 28th, just over 2 weeks after her grandmother reported her missing to the San Diego County Sheriff's Office. Captain Charles Palmer, the Director of Communications Strategy and Operations for the 1st Marine Logistics Group, confirmed in a statement that an unidentified Marine with Combat Logistics Battalion 5 1st Marine Logistics Group was taken into custody for questioning by Naval Criminal Investigative Services, NCIS. Bro. Palmer said that the Marine remains in custody of his command and that he has not been formally charged. So right now he's just a person of interest, I guess. The command takes this matter and all allegations very seriously. The Sheriff's Department and San Diego Human Traffic Task Force are supporting NCIS with an investigation. All right, so that tells us a little bit more about this, but still don't really understand what happened here. One person has all the answers, and that's the 14-year-old girl about what happened to her. So anyway. Florida prosecutors are laying out their case against a plastic surgeon facing the death penalty. Was he a murderer? He's got to be if he got the death penalty. Serial killer, bro? Florida prosecutors seeking the death penalty for a plastic surgeon accused of killing a lawyer and dumping his body in the Everglades. Yikes. Authorities say that Dr. Tomasz Kozowski killed attorney Stephen Cozy in the bathroom of Cozy's law office moments after both participated in a March 21st conference call about a lengthy legal battle over medical billing. Over medical billing? Prosecutors say in the court document that he took the call from a Toyota pickup truck outside of the office, and then he had supplies to commit the killing, including trash bags, a syringe containing a paralyzing drug, and a wagon to haul the corpse out. So damn, this man stopped at Ace Hardware on the way, got all the necessary materials and that, including a wagon. I was about to say, where's the body? See, this is what that look. That is definitely the place to get rid of a body, is the Everglades, right? Because of all them damn pythons and shit down there, and alligators and everything else down there. Yeah. You throw a body out there in the middle of the night, it'll be gone by morning. Gone. Never to be seen again. That's why I took it out there. Although the body has never been found, investigators used cell phone records and surveillance video to track Kozowski to a remote area of West Miami. That's where they believe that he tossed the body into a dumpster that was eventually emptied by a garbage truck. Oh, so he threw it in a dumpster. I thought they said earlier in this thing that he dumped the body in the Everglades, didn't they? The driver noticed an unusual vile smell. Video from the garbage truck of the dumpster being emptied into the garbage truck shows a large garbage bag falling in a manner inconsistent with normal trash. This is confusing. First they said he dumped it in the Everglades. Then they said that the body's never been found, but now they're saying that they have... I don't know. I guess they had. So I guess he dumped it in a dumpster, and that's it. They still haven't found the body. Trash from the route is typically hauled to Collier County landfill, but authorities who searched the property for the body said the facility routinely compacts its trash, making its recovery efforts nearly impossible. There you go. Yeah. That's what they do with these. You throw them in the trash compactor. Truck picks it up, dumps it into a giant 200-foot hole in the ground, and then a bulldozer puts dirt over it. So the chances they find that body, pretty slim. I did not hear about this. 6 killed when a small plane crashes burst into flames in a field near Southern California airport. 6 people were killed in a small plane crash in a field, burst into flames during the second of 2 landing attempts in a fog just before dawn Saturday at South California Airport. The crash of the Cessna C-550 business jet occurred around 4:15 a.m., about 80 miles southeast of Los Angeles. It took the firefighters more than an hour to extinguish the flames, which charred about an acre of vegetation at the edge of French Valley Airport. The jet, which can seat up to 13 people, crashed about 500 feet short of the intended runway. Most of the airplane, with the exception of the tail, was consumed by fire. Yeah, that would not be a fun way to go. The visibility in the ceilings were allowed for landing, but it was right in the minimums of the regulations set by the airport. So they had bad visibility. Surprised we haven't seen anything today on this news feed about that. That's all I saw for 3 or 4 days. Anywhere you went, about that lady that freaked out and demanded to get off of the plane because the guy that she was sitting next to, she said wasn't real or whatever, and everyone said he's a lizard person and shit like that. I don't know what the hell's going on with that story. That was a wild story. Lizard people. The reptilians. Drugs, guns, and thousands in cash seized during a bust at a South Carolina home. 2 men are in jail after deputies confiscated drugs, weapons, and thousands in cash during a bust in Sumter County Sheriff's Office. Sumter's about 2 hours from here. There's a military base there, too. Sumter resident 33-year-old Keith Bernard Tomlin and 45-year-old Williams Conneal Abrams, that's a hell of a name, were each charged with trafficking in cocaine, trafficking in crack cocaine, manufacturing crack cocaine, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. Yeah, you're screwed. All there is to that. Look at that picture. Got a couple of guns. Oh, shit, what happened? Let's see what we got here. What's in the bag of goodies? You got a bunch of cash here. Everything from $100 bills all the way down to $1 bills. A couple of rifles. Whatever you call this thing. That looks like a... I don't know what you call that. It's one of those pistols that looks like a rifle type deals. Yeah, it looks like you do have a pistol over here. Plenty of crack to smoke. For all you crackheads out there, tons of crack. Yeah. There you go. Tons of crack. So for all you crackheads out there, you have to find a new plug. These guys are in jail. Anti-LGBT protesters break up a pride festival in Georgia. Do I even want to click on that? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. The climate of Mars changed dramatically 400,000 years ago. China's Mars rover has found evidence of a dramatic shift in Mars climate 400,000 years ago, in the form of dark ridges laid on top of bright dunes that ripple across the sands. The crescent shape of the dunes has been eroded over hundreds of thousands of years. Here is a little chart. I don't even care. I'm going to open up the StreamYard. I'm done reading the news. I'm done with the news. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the Midday Show.
Yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
What up?
Nothing, man. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to get my crack from now because those guys got put in jail.
Dude, that's annoying as crap.
What?
That really is. Like back in the day when I was on drugs all the time, like my dealer got busted, I was pissed.
Yeah, it puts it.
I mean, what? You got to go to somebody you never met, and it's awkward.
Yeah, it puts a real damper on your day, doesn't it?
It really does.
Well, anyway, Sea-Dog, how's it?
Dealer alone.
Sea-Dog, how's it going? I know you. How's it going with the house?
Good, man. Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass because we're you have to like get it ready, and like of course they want it like on short notice, so like they'll be like this weekend we had some people ask, they're like, can we come today at 5? And then we're like, yeah. And then they're like, okay, actually, can we come at 3:45? And we're like, I guess. And then we get a call at like 3, and they're like, can we be there in like 20 minutes?
Oh.
And we're like, jeez. So, yeah. And then it's a process because we have animals, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So thankfully, well, we actually recently had some kittens turn up at my dad's shop that I had to take care of them. There was 4 of them, and they turned up, and so we had that on top of everything. We just found them homes, but we were having to, we were fostering these kittens, and then we have our 3 cats, and then we have our dog, and it's like every time we have to freaking go out of the house, we have to take them all. It's like it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Sea-Dog's gonna have to build an ark pretty soon.
He's like Noah.
No. We're back down to our original animals. We have no more.
Original animals. How many?
If I built
4?
an ark, it wouldn't work because they're all neutered.
So what do you have? 4 animals?
I have 4 plus the guinea pig, so 5.
Yeah. See, guinea pig. See.
But she can stay there. She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to leave.
Yeah.
AKA emergency food supply.
I've never had more than 2 animals at once, and I'm honestly, because you know how we got the cat. What was that? January or something. So it's been about 6 or 7 months we've had the cat, and I love the cat. Don't get me wrong; she's great.
Yeah.
But my sister, the one who kind of is responsible for us giving us the cat, she kind of rescued the cat, and she took the cat home and had to have surgery on its eye and all this other crazy stuff. Anyway, her dog and the cat didn't get along, so she was going to originally keep the cat, but then she called me and basically pawned the cat off on me. which is fine because our dog died recently and the kids wanted the cat anyway. So anyway, it all worked out just fine. But my point is, a few weeks ago, she calls me. She tried to pawn another cat off on me. You believe this? I said, look, lady, I'm not crazy cat lady, okay?
But you're well on your way.
No, one cat. Look, one animal is enough. I don't want two. I don't even want two.
It perplexes me that people are still surprised that cats and dogs don't get along. Shocker.
Well, some of them do.
Some of them do. If you raise them together, then they'll.
No, I think some of them just tolerate each other.
Right. My cats will sort of tolerate my dog, but we had a big enough house to where we could keep them separate anyway, so it wasn't really an issue.
Pete, I consider you and Lou and Sea Dog some of my best friends, but I'm just going to put this out there. I'm naturally suspicious of all cat people.
Why?
Cat people are just sus to me.
Okay. I don't know, man.
Awesome, dude.
My cat is
discrimination if you want. Fine, that's what it is.
You just haven't met the right cat.
Yeah, my
all cats and all cat people are sus.
My cat's cool as hell.
No way. Yeah.
She's cool as hell.
I had a cat, because your cat's all black, right?
Yeah, black with yellow eyes.
I had one just like that growing up, and she was like the coolest cat ever. Just independent and I think, in my experience, at least, female cats are really independent.
Yeah.
But I have two boys, and they are like very like cuddly, and they're like touch starved. Like they have to be pet at all times.
Yeah. See, I like the independent cats.
The independent ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So girl cat, and we have a girl too, and she's super independent. She likes being pet, but she's totally fine on her own.
See, I've met one cat that I guess you could say I liked, but it was for pure comedy reasons. Like a buddy of mine, his parents had adopted this cat from the shelter, I think, and I guess like somebody had abused the cat. But, like, you know how when a cat or a dog will, like, tilt their head at a 45-degree angle?
Yeah.
When they're kind of confused looking at? Yeah. Well, this cat's head was like that permanently. And they called him Tilt, funny enough. But, no, I mean, like, this cat would, like, start fights with the other cats in the house and just get the shit smacked out of him. And if he went to make a left turn, he made a complete circle and then made his turn.
We're getting mixed reviews on cats in the comments section here. Some people say they just can't stand cats. I guess that's like you.
Well, my mom's a crazy cat lady, so...
Yeah, listen to this. Wet Blanket says his wife brought a cat home last year. Now he has 6. Holy hell.
It starts with one.
Yeah.
That's how it all starts.
Yeah, not with me, dude. I'm not getting a bunch of cats. I'm just not.
That's what you say now.
I'm not. I've already turned it down. I've already been offered cats, then turned them down. So
eventually the turn downs will stop.
No, and not only that, she was putting pressure on me to take the other cat. It happened. The other cat happened to be the brother of the cat we have now. So they were giving me the guilt trip with the whole, they were really close because both the cats they're 2 years old now. And they, I guess they lived together for all the way up until I took this cat. And so they were, trying to lay the guilt trip on me. Oh, they love each other so much and this and that. And I'm like, I don't want the fucking cat. I'm just telling you, I don't want it. And my wife was giving me the guilt trip. She was trying to get the kids to give me a guilt trip. But I stood my ground. So.
Yeah, I really don't see like Pete Jr. trying to lay a guilt trip on you. Now, maybe Repeat, the youngest one, maybe I could see that.
Yeah. Repeat.
Well, it's a hell of a lot better than Pete Jr.
Yeah. What's up, SE Tiger Fan 803? How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, buddy? No, it's been a while. I've been moving my office, so I haven't had a chance to catch any of your shows.
Moving your office? What do you mean?
My company is moving from one building to another, so it's been all hands on moving stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy here, for all you guys who don't know who he is, he's a Clemson man, but he lives down in Florida.
Yep.
In Gainesville, Florida, at that, right?
No, I'm like probably 45 minutes north of Gainesville, close to Lake City.
You know where that is, don't you?
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I mean, North Florida in general is just horrible, but...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hated it. I thought I was coming for a vacation to live down here. Shit.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you move?
Man, I was up in South Carolina all my life, and the only places I'd seen was like Japan, Germany, being a military brat, and I was like, you know what? Time to go.
Yeah.
Now, why would you think that I would absolutely love the Toyota battery story? I'm not necessarily against electric cars. I mean, my problem's just the practicality of them thus far.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, you know, my thing is don't mess with a classic, iconic car like the Ford Mustang. Now, look, I
agree with you. Like they turned it into a crossover.
Yeah, and look, if they want to develop an electric Mustang and a gas powered, and so whoever wants to buy the electric one, that's great. But just to switch over to that completely, I don't understand that.
I'm sorry, that electric Mustang looks like crap.
Yeah, let me see if I can find a picture of this thing. Have any of you seen these on the road? It looks like a Honda Civic hatchback. I was like, what?
I mean, it's a small SUV.
Yeah. I don't even know how to describe it. See if I can find a picture.
I agree with you with the whole Ford thing. I mean, that's what happens when obviously the market doesn't want electric vehicles and you're trying to push them on people. Now that I don't like. I don't like that they're trying to push electric cars on people.
It kind of looks like a Tesla with a Mustang logo.
Kinda, yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look good. Well, I mean, it doesn't even look like anything like a Mustang. Let's see.
No.
Anyway, it's and how much do they cost? Let's see here. Here's what they look like for anybody who didn't know. Now look at this one. So this is what they're supposed to look like. Look at that 1967. That thing is beautiful right there. Yeah. How much these things cost? Let's see.
Probably
what do you?
Like 60.
I don't think they're that much. Yeah, no. So 2000.
Me if they were that much.
Well, you're right. So this one right here is 55. This is a 2023. There's a 2021. Oh, that's the EcoBoost. That's not the. This is the electric one here. So about between 50 and 60. I guess for that model anyway.
Yeah, I'm about to say because Tesla's been doing it longer than anybody, and they've only got one model down at like the 40s.
This must be the faster one, the 2023 Mach-E GT, $72,000.
Yeah, they're proud of it, ain't they?
Yeah.
Right. Well, go look at the new Hummer. The new Hummer's close to $60,000, $70,000, $80,000.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and that thing takes like 4 days to charge. Did you see that video? Some dude got one, plugged it up in his. He got one of those EV chargers in his garage.
Yeah.
And it told him 4 days to charge it.
Wow. Hopefully.
He want that crab walk.
Yeah, that feature is cool on there, on the crab walk, but 4 days. Come on, man.
Crab walk takes most of the charge.
Yeah, someone calls you, your friend calls you up, hey man, come over to the house and watch the game with me this weekend. I can't, man. I got 2 more days left of my fucking charge. I can't drive over there.
Yeah, where were you getting this thought that you could just plug in and charge for free? You can't do that anywhere.
You can't?
Hey, sorry.
No.
The freaking boss came in. What I missed.
It's all right. We were talking about how ugly the Ford Mustang was, but the new one.
No, my cousin's got one of them damn Teslas, and he comes to my house. He's like, "Can I plug up to your house? Can I charge you by the hour?"
Yeah, I honestly didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought the Tesla ones were like complimentary from Tesla. They're not?
Because they're having to pay. You know, they're having to pay places to put those chargers up. I mean, electricity's not free.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like that news story I just read with that Shell gas station that has the charging ports in it. They're not necessarily paying for it because it said that at the top of each one of those lanes or whatever you call it it's solar powered. Now you have to pay for whatever the solar panel cost and the initial setup of it, but it's not like they're paying for electricity from the city or whatever. Oh
sure they are. I mean, what it rains over there, you know, more than it does in Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but think about this: how many cities have got solar fields all over the place? They're making energy left and right.
Yeah, I'm just
still got to pay a ridiculous amount of money.
Well, those solar panels are not particularly effective. That's the problem.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are for houses because there's a lot of people in my neighborhood that have them, and
same with me.
And not only
thinking about looking into that when I moved out to my new house about doing solar. Is it worth it?
Well, here's the thing. I missed a prime opportunity when there used to be some sort of government program where they were giving this shit away for free. And
they weren't really giving it away for free. You were getting tax credits.
Well, whatever. But so when we first moved in the neighborhood, you know, there's a lot of construction going on around here and everything. So people were knocking on my door left and right trying to give me basically free solar panels installed in the house. And we didn't do it. Now I wish that I did. Because these people in my neighborhood that are doing this, not only are they not paying for electricity anymore, they're getting a check from the power company every month. Because they create a surplus more than their house needs, and they're basically buying energy from you.
That's the life. I want to do that. Being self-sufficient is like the coolest thing I could ever think of.
The problem is, let city power go out for 2 weeks and see how it really is. Then you'll find out quick that you'll run out of energy.
You're not using any city power when you have solar panels on your house.
You're not using city power all the time.
Yeah, I don't think you're using it at all.
Yeah, but if you got batteries in your house to store some of it and then the rest of it goes back on the grid,
yeah,
you can live off of it at least 72 hours, unless you got a home generator system.
Yeah.
Then everybody else is out of power and you got power. Everybody's coming to you.
See, like, I know the problem where I live, like, especially in the wintertime, we'll go 2-3 solid weeks of overcast. What are you going to do then?
I mean, it's like he said, first of all, there's never 2 solid weeks of overcast here. I don't know about where you are, but yeah.
Hooked up to the grid, could you then just draw from the grid? And then for the time being, is that possible? I don't know.
I think solar is a good backup, but I think right now that's all it's really feasible for.
Yeah, to answer your question, Sea-Dog, I think so. So if something happens, then it's business as usual as far as you're paying for energy from the city then again, but it creates a surplus.
It sounds like no drawback besides the initial cost of installing.
Well, yeah. Here's the other thing I don't know: how long do these panels last, and if they're damaged or something in a storm, how much did that cost to repair? All those things I don't know.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
As long as you ain't in Tornado Alley or Hurricane Central, you're fine.
Well, I'm in Hurricane Central, so.
Yeah, he's on the coast.
Me too.
And it's like you said though too. The battery setup to store any kind of power, number one, is astronomical.
20, at least 20 grand a battery.
Yeah, and plus you're having, you know, the same problem that they're having in general with solar. You can only store so much.
Roger Dodger is claiming that you can plug in your car for free. So.
At your house?
No, he's talking about the Tesla stations. I don't know. I mean, I've looked at those things before. I've looked at those chargers before. I've never seen any form of way to pay.
Well, it's on an app that's on your phone or your smartwatch or whatever. They set you up an account for those Tesla charging stations. I think my cousin told me it takes him like $20 to charge from Panama City to my house, and that's about a 2-hour drive. It's about $20 for him to get a full charge to come to my house.
$20?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, it's definitely cheaper to use electricity. The problem
But you ain't got power a gas vehicle got.
Well, that plus the problem you run into, and the one that they really don't have an answer for, is for the grids to have enough power for everybody to go to electric vehicles. It'd be much worse for the environment than
oh yeah,
than
definitely.
all those cars. I mean, because they'd have to start reopening coal power plants, and one of those is worse than like 50,000 cars.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where you're at, Slim, but I know like where Pete's at. You got the summertime, which is peak tourist season, so the charges for a Tesla charging station goes through the roof on peak time. So instead of paying like $20 for a full charge, if it's a peak hour, you're spending $40-50 because everybody's using the charging stations. That's how they get you.
There's not a whole lot. I'm in Memphis, and there's not a whole lot of them there. Like just out and about, you don't see a whole lot of charging stations.
Yeah, sort of the same here, but everyone knows where they are. They're like centrally located areas. You know what I mean, around the city. Yeah. But
right down the road from me, there's 2 charging stations, but one's a Tesla and one's some other kind of charging station. For I guess like them Chevys and them Toyotas and all that, but it doesn't say Tesla on it.
Hey, what's the?
Is there a different charging station for different types of EVs?
I think so. Well, there might be a universal type of thing now, but
because only Tesla has a certain kind of plug-in. Everything else has a different one.
That's right. So yeah, Tesla's the only one that's different, I think. But Tesla's pretty good about having available charging stations within a reasonable distance of anyone. I guess unless you live out, maybe if you live out in the middle of BFE, Kansas or something, there might not be a bunch of charging stations out there. But
right, of course, you know,
as you get out to West Texas, there's not a bunch of them either.
Right.
There's 2 within 10 miles of my house.
If Tesla wants to increase their sort of their coverage of business around the United States, they're going to have to beef that up. Of course, I mean that goes without saying.
Put one in every 50 miles.
Like the closest one to me is about an hour away.
Yeah.
And to answer your question,
hi Slim, hi Pete. Sorry, I'm just jumping in.
Yeah, no. To answer your question, Volusia, no, the time hasn't changed. I started the show an hour early today. That's all.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he thought something was wrong with his watch or something.
What the hell? Daylight savings come earlier than I was used to.
No.
All right.
So. Volusia, you missed it. I don't know if you saw any of my videos this weekend.
I did. I watch your videos when I'm in the shower. I hope it doesn't switch around.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So you saw all the people that are picking Duke to beat Clemson then?
Yes, I did, including Uncle Lou. Yeah.
Yeah, Lou.
Okay, so this is hilarious to me. I've been wanting to talk about it.
Right. It's hilarious to me too.
It was really funny when you went on. It was really funny when you went over his video and talked about and responded to it. That shit was funny.
Oh, the jackpot video?
Yeah. No, Uncle Lou's video where he predicted y'all to.
Oh, yeah.
You did on the midday show last week?
Yeah, last Friday, I think.
When are we going to do Clemson on the ACC show?
Yeah.
I don't know, because we still got... what is that sound? Are you inside of an airplane turbine?
Not.
Sorry, here. I'll turn it off. Here.
What?
It's the air compressor.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I just turned it off.
Well, we.
Yeah, I still hear it.
Well, it's still going. It takes a second to turn off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there it goes.
Anyway, what were you saying? Oh, when are we going to do Clemson? I don't know. I was kind of thinking we'd save Clemson towards the end, closer to the start of the season. But I mean, whatever. If you want to do it, I mean.
I do. I feel like it's topical right now, and it'd be funny.
Yeah, but we struggle to get through 2 teams on an ACC show.
Yeah.
What are the chances of us getting through 3?
Yeah.
Well, here's what.
Oh, I'm not saying do it.
No, he's just saying he wants to do Clemson, not 3.
Yeah.
But Duke is relevant right now on the channel because of all the talk about Duke and Clemson. So I definitely want to do Duke. And then somebody, I can't remember who requested it last week. Somebody requested that we do Miami. I think it might have been Luke. But
I think you're right because it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Here's what
Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
I think that it's reasonable to say that Duke projects to be one of the better teams in the ACC. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand what Uncle Lou was saying, right? But at the same time, we're Clemson and they're Duke. I mean, come on, bet me, Lou. If Uncle Lou wants to put $20 on it, let's go.
No, he doesn't want to bet.
He doesn't want to bet on that.
I got Carolina Jackpot to bet me $100 straight up on Duke and Clemson. No points.
Wow.
I honestly like Duke could beat Clemson. Like, I don't think
look,
it's out of the realm of possibility.
Nothing's impossible in college football, but
I mean, to go and to predict that they beat them is
Yes, but
a little
what's
bit
far
crazy.
more likely? Clemson winning by 45 or Duke pulling the upset?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Clemson win by 40. I don't think so.
No,
I think Duke's more likely to pull the upset than Clemson win by 45.
Yeah, I think
Be at least a 14-point game.
Well, I think the line opened up at 14.
I
It's
swear to God,
down to 12 now, I think.
I don't get this for the life of me. People are looking at Duke's record and saying, "Oh, that was a halfway decent team last year." No, they weren't. Look at how they won the games.
Listen, Duke was actually.
Listen.
If you look at it, Duke didn't lose a game by more than 8 points last year. Here's my thought. What's more likely
You
to
gotta.
happen? Duke
Well,
wins
great.
by 45. Duke pulls the upset. I think the more likely scenario is that Clemson wins by 21.
Yeah.
Yes, we all heard this last year. It was year before last about Nebraska. Oh, best 3-9 team ever. They only lost every game by less than a
Duke was
touchdown.
down to 4, not 3-9.
Well.
So
Yeah, except Duke had a good record and they won I don't see the point there, but I mean, you also have to take into account that it's going to be week 1, and a lot of the times teams' offenses come out really, really slow in week 1, and a lot of unders hit and everything.
There you go.
And I happen to be a believer in Clemson. I think that they'll probably go to the playoffs, and I have a feeling they could go undefeated. But the beginning of the year is the best time to get Clemson.
Well, Jackpot's whole angle with Duke was he's saying that Clemson's strength that he's trying to say Clemson can't pass the ball because they don't have any receivers, right? He says that Clemson's strength is running the ball and Duke's has a really good run defense. That's his angle on it.
Yeah.
But
I might have picked if Clemson still had Brandon Streeter at OC, I might have picked Duke too.
hey, shit, I might have too. Especially especially if you had both Streeter and DJ playing in that game. I might pick Duke in that too. You're right.
Yeah, but I think the Garrett Riley thing, I think they're going to be back on top about Clemson.
Yeah.
But it would be the time to catch them because they could, it is a new OC, and they could have some growing pains, and a lot of the times offenses are not good in week 1.
Yeah.
Which speaks to my point that now we're talking about when we were hanging out in person is it's just a really poor spot for Clemson, and I don't think that we're going to lose, but at the same time, I think that what you said is correct, right? It's just a shitty spot to put us in for the league, right? Would Georgia then have to open up at Kentucky on Labor Day weekend? Never.
Yeah, it's a really weird sort of schedule there. I'm not sure what the ACC was thinking with that, but
yeah, it'll be exciting. I think it'll be a 1 or 2 score game.
I would say that I think we win the game by a score of something to the effect of 31-14.
Yeah,
I can see the final score being like that. Maybe it's kind of like the Georgia Tech game last year, where they, where it's close the whole time, and then Clemson kind of pulls away at the end.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Maybe it's like this. Maybe at halftime it's 17-7, right?
Yeah,
and then maybe it's 31-7, and then they score a garbage touchdown to make it 31-14, something like that. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's one of the most anticipated Duke games in a long time. I tell you that.
Well, it's one of the better Duke teams in a long time.
It is. It's interesting, the way that we're doing the 3-3-5 scheduling now. We have well, let me pull the schedule up here. We've got 3 teams that we would have been in the Coastal last year that we're playing this year, because we're playing Duke, North Carolina, Miami, and Georgia Tech. That's 4.
You know what the funniest aspect of that is, Pete, is that Louisville's over-under win expectation is through the roof.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they don't play us or Florida State.
Right.
It's ridiculous. 8.5. Isn't it 8.5?
Yes, and their
that
odds,
is wild.
Their odds to go undefeated are like extremely slim. Like if you want to bet Louisville to go 12-0, you're not going to get very good money on it, which is wild.
That is, that people are taking the Louisville thing too far. It's way too far.
Way too far.
Yeah, way too far.
I have a feeling that it's going to get to the season, and they're going to have all of this hype built up, and people are going to be shocked. And it's not something that it's something that's been building up too. Like people, going into the off season weren't like, oh yeah, Louisville, watch out for them. It was like, yeah, Louisville might be okay, and then it turned into, well, if you're looking for a dark horse, now we're getting into this ridiculous area where it's like, what if they went 10-2? Like, no.
Who are you?
No, sorry, Vic, you're breaking up, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, I said, who are these people? I haven't seen them.
Josh Peete for one.
Las Vegas, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Josh Peete makes a living out of finding a silver lining for every team.
You mean Josh Peete?
I would love to hear him do that for Georgia Tech, because all he does is dunk on us.
Well,
that's because that's all they deserve.
Whatever.
Who does he work for? Is that a CBS thing?
I think he works for 24/7.
247, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, Lou's right. Lou did take a bet on the game. I think he bet him Matthew, but he got 14 points for Duke, so it's not straight up. I mean,
wait, so Lou took Duke with the 14, or he took Clemson?
He took Duke with the 14.
A moron.
I told you I got jackpot to bet me straight up. He's not even getting any points. That's a real moron.
I would take Duke to cover.
Yeah, well, Pete, I mean, that is borderline picking on the mentally handicapped.
Hey, yeah,
Actually,
listen, you start to let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cash, and then you get stuck between a rock and a hard place. So he basically had to take the bet, otherwise he would have looked stupid. You know?
And I'm not even talking like the good Rain Man kind of mentally handicapped. I mean,
Wait a minute. You're talking about jackpot now, Pete, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as though he wouldn't have looked stupid otherwise.
Well, I like old jackpot, but I can't believe he actually took that bet.
I'm not on him as a person. It's not a personal thing. I've never met the man, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, I mean, he's kind of an idiot.
We all take stupid bets sometimes, like you guys all betting against Georgia Tech to make a bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you thinking that Brent Key is the second coming of Nick Saban is pretty stupid.
Nobody said that. I haven't said that. Nobody freaking said that. Okay.
Oh, by the way, Volusia, guess who else bet me? Tyler P. from the comment section, and he's a caller too.
Yes.
He bet me the Clemson win total. I say over 9 games. He says under 9 games, or over 9.5 or under 9.5. I say over. He said under.
Okay. So he's saying that we're going to lose 3 regular season
Yes.
games. Okay.
Right.
That's dumb.
Hey.
That's dumb.
So.
Well, look, Pete, let's be real. If Klubnik gets hurt or yada, 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 okay, fine. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But let's be real. Like, that's a stupid bet.
Well, how many times in the past 15 years or so have they lost 3 regular season games? Once?
Well, no, but Pete,
Yeah.
it's happened. It happened in 2021 and in 2014.
Okay, twice then. Yeah.
But we've had 10 wins every year since 2011. So
Right. So. And we didn't even lose 3 last year. And last year's team offensively was just atrocious.
right.
So.
And we went 10-2 and won the ACC and went 11-2 after that. So I don't know. Look, I feel like look, I feel like there's no reason to expect us to lose more than 2 regular season games. I feel like that's.
Yeah, I don't think so either. If honestly, and we haven't done the Clemson prediction yet, game by game and all that. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to have them at 11-1. I have to figure out which game that is. Which game is they're most likely to lose? Which game do you think they're most likely to lose, Volusia? I think it's got to be. Well, the 2 of the hardest games are in Death Valley, right? Notre Dame and Florida State.
You know what, Pete? I have an answer to that, but I'm not going to say it because it makes me sick.
Because you think it's South Carolina, that's why.
Who is it?
Yeah, South Carolina. That's why he won't say it.
I'm going to agree with Huffer Billy Paul. I think Miami's going to give you a run for your money.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think we're losing at home. I don't think we're losing to Florida State. I don't think we're losing to Notre Dame. If I had to pick one, it's going to be the one that would absolutely make me break everything tasteful in my house.
Did you break everything tasteful in your house last year?
Well, yes, but I bought some new stuff. I went back to America recently, and I bought some new tasteful things, and they're right for the picking.
Yeah, I got.
You gonna break that framed portrait of Gigi Ping or no?
No, I'd be arrested for that.
That was fucking.
I just hope that Clemson doesn't keep it too close with Duke because I can't afford to buy a new pair of headphones again this year. Mrs. Pete won't let me. I guarantee it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you'll be able to do all your streams like Vic without headphones.
Broke your headphones and you had to borrow Pete Jr.'s
Yeah.
headphones.
I had to borrow my son's headphones just to finish the stream.
And then did you break those too? Or?
No, I didn't break his headphones. I wouldn't do that. I'm not mean.
Pete, here's what I think, Pete. And here's what makes me a little bit optimistic about this particular game is that Dabo, I'm sure, has communicated to the younger Riley the importance of this particular game. And I'm pretty sure that he understands that. This is not a fuck around situation.
My thing is everyone's like, well, even if they concede that Garrett Riley is a great hire and that he's going to run a good offense, they go, yeah, well, he's new though. It's going to take time. He was only coordinator at TCU for 1 season. I mean, it didn't take them any time, And
but he was operating under his former head coach.
Yeah, but it's I know you. I told the story last week about the first day on the job for Garrett Riley. He came in and threw out half of the playbook, half of it, literally. He said that the playbook was ridiculous. He was going to simplify things. So,
and I'm sure that do you mean the TCU playbook or
the Clemson playbook?
Of course, he said that. Yeah, and he was look, man. Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay.
And even Dabo acknowledged it. He goes, yeah, you know what? He's right. This is the reason you bring in people from the outside sometimes to get a fresh set of eyes on things. But he goes, because over the years, we continue to add this play, add that play, add this play, add that play. And before you know it, the playbook is so giant, there's no possible way that you can run an efficient offense with a playbook that big. So they just had to get rid of a lot of shit.
Yeah,
I've got a feeling game one against Duke is probably going to look something very similar to when Miami brought in Rhett Lashley in 2020. The first game, I think they're going to lean very hard on Will Shipley in the run game.
And Maffa, yeah.
And it's going to cause some people. It's going to cause some unnecessary freakouts from people, because I saw it from Miami fans at the time. Because all they were complaining about was how much he ran the ball, but they didn't look at the fact that they didn't have to pass the ball when you ran for 450
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm the opposite, because that was one of my biggest complaints about what Streeter was doing last year, is they weren't running the ball enough. And when they were running the ball, they were running too much of the quarterback. I hated that. DJ's not a running quarterback.
Well, Slim, I think you're absolutely correct about that. And the reason why I say so is because, listen, I understand that Duke is a better team than people perceive them to be, but they're not, in of the nature of Duke and their recruiting, they're not a strong team up front on the lines, right? And so I feel like we're going to lean on the running game to beat Duke. Now, do we beat them? I feel like maybe that's why we may not cover the spread. Maybe why we beat them, 27 to fucking 14, I guess, whatever it is. But I think that you're right about that, in that we're definitely going to lean on the running game just to run over Duke and win the game and move on to the next spot, and then make the playbook more diverse from that point forward, right? Is that what you mean?
Right. That's part of the reason. Part of the reason is also because, it's to some of the facts that people have alluded to. It is game one with a new coordinator. Game one of the year is always the sloppiest. Lean on the run game. That's a good way to clean it up.
Especially on the road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think you're right about that. And it's like Pete and I talked about earlier, but that's not going to help us in the national perspective issue, because if we don't beat them 55-7, then we suck, right? But if we beat them, 27 to 15 or whatever it is, I'm fine with that, right?
Well,
yeah. Say you win, 27-14, but you rush for 400 plus yards. Say you pass for less than 200.
Sure.
But you rush for 400 plus. You're just dominating lines of scrimmage the whole game. It's never really in doubt.
That makes me, as a Clemson fan, feel great, but that's going to make the Mad Dog Jackass, talk shit about us, right?
Well, yeah. If they don't cover, people, even if they win, they'll be, oh, well, they didn't cover. You know how that goes. So
yeah, you want to cover. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you want to cover.
How much I care if my team covers the point spread or not. All I care about is the W.
Listen, dude. As much as we disagree politically, we agree footballically. We're in Lousville.
He's made up a word.
Footballically.
Yeah.
And I think people are. You want to talk about a team being overhyped? I think South Carolina is definitely in the top 5 of overhyped teams of the offseason. And I think come November, it's November when y'all play South Carolina, right?
Yeah. End of the month.
Yeah. By then, the offense should be humming along.
Right.
It should be.
I would think so. I don't know what we're going to see from Spencer Rattler this year. I mean, last year it was the tale of two halves of seasons. You know, I mean, he was completely atrocious the first 8 weeks of the season, at least.
Well, it's going to be humming on something, but you know, he's going to be giving our
yeah. Well, we covered that on the Friday night show. I mean, I get Spencer Rattler looked good in 2 games. That doesn't a good season make.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. He's just not consistent. It's not that he can't play well. And that's sort of the same issue that DJ had. It's not that DJ never had a good game, because he did. He just was terribly inconsistent.
Yeah, he didn't have a good game.
I thought DJ was going to be the next coming. Like,
well, and part of that's on DJ, and part of that is on Streeter, because I think DJ could have been effective in the run game in short yardage situations. To me, physically, that's what he's built for.
Right.
Yeah, and he's really just really a pocket passer. And he's slow as all get out. I mean, for such a big guy.
Right.
But
I'm very curious to see what he looks like at Oregon State.
Yeah.
And he's been critical of Clemson's
Well, what do you think of this, Pete?
And I understand that. I know he's biased, but I understand that he might not be totally wrong about that. And I wish him the best, and I hope Oregon State wins the Pac-12, right? But I don't think that necessarily is an indictment of what Clemson's going to be this year.
No, I know. I mean,
well, and here's why I still have a question mark on this season, though, and I want y'all's opinion on this.
Yeah.
Yes, plenty of blame is to go on DJ, like I said, but I mean that wide receiver core wasn't exactly doing him a ton of favors.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't all his fault. I definitely don't want it to come down to that. But look, man, it says a lot. How many teams fire their offensive coordinator after winning 10 games, and their starting quarterback transfers out? How often does that happen? Huh?
So, Pete, here's my thing. I'm going to be a little bit critical of you, Pete, for a second.
Okay.
When I was watching your State of the Fan address while I was soaping up my scrum.
Yeah.
So I agreed with 90% of the things that you said, but the one thing that I don't disagree with you about per se, but I did have a little bit of trepidation about was that our receiving core is good in principle, but it's not good in practice, right? Now, Antonio Williams is different, right? Antonio Williams is a good player. He doesn't fit in the mold of the X receivers that we've had that have made the dominant Clemson teams. He's not a Mike Williams. He's not a...
Well, that's exactly what I said.
Right, but
you're agreeing with me.
We still don't have... I'm not super confident. Bo Collins, you were really high on Bo Collins. I am not. I'm not high on Bo Collins. I'm not. He has shown a lack of ability to separate from press coverage throughout his entire tenure at Clemson. And I'm not sure that our receiving core is good. I'm really not. I'm not sure. And Adam Randall, he's got a lot of potential, but what the fuck is he showing us, man? And
well, he was hurt the entire season, so we don't know. But, I mean...
Bro, what I'm saying is, like, I lack your confidence in our receiving core, honestly. I'm just being frank, man. I mean, I'm as hardcore of a Clemson fan as anybody, but but it sounds like so. The real disagreement is I'm just higher on Bo Collins than you are, but we agree about everything else. I mean, we don't know what Adam Randall is going to look like. He's one of these guys that everybody in the country wanted coming out of high school, and there was a lot of hype, even as a true freshman for him last year. But he didn't play because he was hurt. But dude, that was the case for Frank Ladson. That was the case for a lot of guys that we've had recently over the last 3 or 4 years that haven't really done shit.
And well, Frank Ladson stayed hurt though.
Yes.
I mean.
Yeah. So like, that speaks to what I'm saying is like, look, I feel like this. If we are going to have an elite offense, we're going to need to find one of our new freshmen. Not just Adam Randall, but a guy like Nico.
Noble Johnson, how about him?
Yeah, we need to find a new freshman. We're going to need to have a breakout freshman in the mold of Antonio Williams, but at the X or the 9 position, one of the outside positions.
Yeah. Well, Antonio plays. He plays on the outside sometimes. But
but he's 5'10", man.
Yeah.
What
about Brenning Stool? He's technically a receiver.
Bringing Stool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a Dances with Wolves name. Yeah.
Dances with Wolves name.
Yeah, that was what Lou said.
Oh. So that's a threat that we haven't had since Leggett. Honestly.
Right. Okay, Brenning Stool is good. I don't know, man. We're going to need to find a receiver on the outside who is going to be a threat in as much as T. Higgins was or Justin Ross for a time.
I agree with you. And I said as much. I said we don't have a Mike Williams or a Sammy Watkins or a T. Higgins type of player on this team. I said that.
We need one, and we need one to emerge. If we're going to be a true championship contender, we need one.
But I also said that that's a ridiculous bar to set because 95% of the teams in the country don't have anybody that comes close to a Mike Williams or a Sammy Watkins or a T. Higgins. I mean, that's just it's a rare thing.
I hear you, but Pete, if we're going to go 12-0, we need a freshman to become that.
Yes, that's what y'all were doing when y'all were going 12-0. Y'all had elite wide receivers.
Yeah.
I think basically the difference that an opinion that y'all are having is Pete fairly certain that somebody's going to step up and be that guy, and Belusha's a little more pessimistic of that.
I'm a little bit skeptical about that.
That's a fair assessment. I'm not saying somebody's going to step up and be a T. Higgins again because I don't know if we have that guy. Adam Randall is kind of like. He's like a make or break at this offense because we already know Antonio Williams is good, so that's solid. But like you said, we need an outside guy. I think Adam Randall can potentially be that. There's no way for me to know.
Okay, so Pete, let's say that Antonio Williams can be Artavis Scott, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what can Adam Randall be? Can he be T. Higgins? I don't think he can. Can he be Mike Williams? I don't think he can. Can he be DeAndre Hopkins? Wow, that's a really tough ask.
No, but see, this is my point. You're naming 3 of the best receivers in college football in the past 20 years.
You're sounding honestly. What this sounds like is a fucking Miami fan. Well, we don't have the Santana Moss on the team. We don't have the Andre Johnson or the Kevin Beard. Yeah. You're never going to have that guy. You're going to need somebody else to step up and be himself.
Okay, so Pete, let me ask you. Adam Randall, next year, his ceiling is what? Compared to another Clemson player or a player, not even Clemson, any ACC player?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have anything to compare him to.
Amari Rodgers. So let's say that.
See, I don't even think you need all that. I think you just need somebody that's capable of a 1,000-yard year.
There you go.
Right. So, for instance, did Georgia's coming off 2 back-to-back championships? Did they have anybody as good as Sammy Watkins or anything like that on their receiving core? Huh?
Yeah, Brock Bowers.
We don't have the offensive line and the defense that they had.
But he's a tight end, not at wide receiver. No.
We don't have the team they had. We just don't. Now,
I mean, they had a 45-year-old quarterback. There is that.
Dude, 2018 Clemson was the best team in college football history. I will argue that to the hilt. And R.J. Young came out and they agreed with me. But right now.
Wow, RJ. If RJ Young is your decision maker,
RJ Young might be the biggest fucking potato on the internet. I'm not even joking. He went on a complete and he's gone off the deep end for real.
You better watch it because he just said that 2018 Clemson is the best team.
I don't care. I don't care what he says.
So what? Plenty of people say that the 01 Miami team is. And
listen to me.
What? I still say that 95 Nebraska team's in the conversation. It's not all said and done.
He spent an entire week and maybe even longer on Twitter trying to convince everybody that Deion Sanders is basically the next Coach Sweeney or the next Nick Saban or the next, all the national championship winning coaches, Urban Meyer, right? Because he's posting on there saying that, look at Dabo Sweeney's first year. And, look at Nick Saban's first year. And then he's comparing it to Deion's year at a HBCU.
What?
I mean, come on.
Deion's going to be the best peg leg coach in football history. Anyway, what I'm saying is that, look, dude.
He's playing that race card bullshit, too. I can't stand that shit.
No.
Yeah, me too.
What I'm saying is that getting back to Clemson, what I'm saying is that, like, if we want to compete offensively, I think Garrett Riley is going to be an incredible boon for us, and I think that's going to put us in a different stratosphere than we were at the last 2 years. But man, we really have issues at the wide receiver position, and I think that if we want to get back to where we were at previously, we're going to have to see some breakout performances from people that we haven't seen it from before. Be that Bo Collins, or be that the freshman that we have, or be that injured guys like for example Adam Randall. I think that we have to be careful in overestimating the ceilings this season, maybe 2 years from now, but the ceilings of guys like Randall and guys like Collins and guys like the freshman that we have. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like we're not going to be a 50-point-a-year team, man. We're going to be a team that wins a lot of games, 34-28, dude, 36 to fucking 21. Like, this is not going to be. If we go 12-0, it's going to be some white knuckle shit. We're not going to be blowing people up like we're used to.
Well, I think you're not giving near enough credit to the defense. I mean, I don't see. I said this in one of my videos, or in the State of the Fan Address video. Outside of, let's say, Florida State, Notre Dame, and Notre Dame only because they have Sam Hartman, and he's familiar with Clemson too, by the way. And South Carolina. Outside of those three teams, I don't see a team that's going to have much of a chance to score more than 14 to 17 points at the most. Clemson doesn't have to win 45 to 35. They can win 28 to 10 all season long.
Pete, our season isn't in the current iteration of Clemson football, in the current era of Clemson football. Our season isn't competed against the NC States and the Wake Forests and the Dukes and the Boston Colleges. Our season is competed against the teams that have a chance to beat us. And so, in as much as that is true, I think that we have to be very careful with the way we think about these games, man. Like, I mean, one or two fuck ups in the back, we're fucked, dude. Like, I don't think we're a dynamic offensive team just because we hired Garrett Riley. I really don't.
Well, we'll find out. No, I mean, nobody knows. We can go
12-0.
We don't have a crystal ball. But what I do know is that Garrett Riley took a team full of 3-stars to the playoffs and beat one of the best defenses in the country in the playoffs. But I do know that.
Johnson was a 5-star.
Yeah, here we go. They got that one guy that's really good at receiver.
Yeah, that's the thing. That helps.
Yeah, you're talking about one player.
But that kind of helps, dude.
The totality of talent on Clemson is not. Comparing it to TCU is silly.
I agree with you, but they're not. Okay, so we're playing in the ACC, which is comparable to the Big 12. Okay, sure. Should we lose 4 games? Of course, fucking not. But dude, like Quentin Johnston, who was TCU's best receiver last year, would be easily the best offensive player on our team this year.
Nobody's saying that. Yeah, he was one of the best players in the country. I mean, here we go again with this.
Well, I also think the whole we're going to have a couple of games that come down to the wire. Yeah. I think that's kind of BS too, because you look at not even talking about teams that are considered all-time greats. Look at every national championship team. They've got a couple of games that come right down to the wire.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Clemson's was Trevor Lawrence not being the starter, and then him getting hurt, and then as soon as he came back, we just butt raped everybody, including Alabama. So that's why
Yes, but I mean, okay, you know, Miami's in that conversation. One of the greatest of all time. They barely beat Virginia Tech and Boston College that year.
Yeah.
Literally beat Boston College on the last play of the game.
You're talking about 2001 Miami, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's my point. All those teams have those close calls.
Yeah,
and
Clemson had those games in their 15-0 season too. So.
But Pete, what I'm saying is that those games happened for Clemson's 15-0 season when the first one was when Trevor Lawrence didn't even start, and the second one was when he got knocked out with a concussion. After his start against Georgia Tech, we just fucking destroyed everybody.
Yeah. See, you sound to me though. I don't. My expectation is not for. I know we get spoiled, right? Because we get spoiled with great players over the years, especially at the receiver position. But that's just not the norm. It's not.
Right. My issue, Pete, is that I don't feel like we are. I have no evidence to believe that we're a great offensive team at this point. And I'm optimistic. I feel like we should be favorites in every game that we play. But I'm still a little bit hesitant to say that we're a great team, honestly. I'm not sure.
Nobody's sure. I mean, all we have to go off of. Again, we haven't even.
He's not too far off. He
Sorry.
sounds like he's not too far off from me because, I mean, there are obviously examples of, you know, even Miami over the past few years. First year Rhett Lashley come in, the offense looked really good. I'm not assuming that's going to happen this year with another new offensive coordinator. But in the back of my mind, it's kind of like I said, Miami's that wild card. You know, they could win 7 games, they could win 10 games, or anywhere in between.
Well, the real thing, and this I partly agree with you here on that. We don't know about what their offense is going to look like, and mainly we haven't even talked about the main guy, the quarterback.
Cade Klubnik.
I feel good about Klubnik.
So
I'm not sure about him.
The season's going to go as he goes, and
you're right.
It's going to go as he goes, and it's going to go as Will Shipley and Phil Maffa go mainly.
And I think that's something where Miami has probably got a slight edge on a team like Clemson because it's not crazy at all to say that Van Dyke is a much more proven quarterback than Cade Klubnik thus far.
Oh yeah, he's played a lot. I mean, he's actually been a starter.
Right.
I mean, Klubnik started one game, and that was the bowl game.
Right. Well, I mean, we've seen him in multiple other games though.
The position concern for me for Clemson is the wide receiver position, and I feel like we had some issues at the defensive back position last year. But we have a lot of talented guys, and you find at the defensive back position, the leap between the freshman and sophomore years is very pronounced, right? And so I'm not super concerned about our defense on any of the 3 levels. But I'm concerned about our receivers, man. I'm not really sure where we're going to be at. And I think we're going to have a lot of games this year that end up 27 to 17, where they end up 23 to fucking 10. We're going to be an ugly winner this year, man. That's what I think. We're going to win a lot of ugly games.
Well, I don't think a whole lot of people are picking Clemson to win a national title.
I'm certainly not. No.
But if we beat everybody 23-10 and 24-2 and fucking shit like that, great. We can still win a national title. The issue is when we play Ohio State, I mean, okay.
I know people like to troll about Klubnik, because of the way he played in the bowl game. But let's face it, true freshman. Not everybody's Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's an anomaly to come out as a true freshman and play like that.
Klubnik is going to be really good, and he's going to be better by the end of the year than he is in week 1. No question about it. I have faith in Klubnik. I think Klubnik is going to be incredible. I think he's going to have a great Clemson career, and I think he's going to be drafted in the first round, right? But here's my thing: is like I'm less confident about Clemson's receiving corps, man.
Wet blanket. I've heard this argument before too. TCU had 8 players drafted in the NFL. Clemson had 6. Clemson also had 3 guys. They're graduates, by the way, that could have entered the draft and probably should have, that came back. So,
I'm not saying that.
I mean,
I'm not saying that. We are better than TCU,
right?
But I'm concerned about our receiving corps. I'm not sure that it's going to be good this year.
Well, I think everyone's concerned about it because it's just an unknown. But I still say that the team's going to go how Klubnik goes. We don't really know what Clemson's offense would have looked like last year if DJ wasn't leading the charge there. And
I think Volusia should agree with this. If they do rely, especially on Shipley at the run position, and are able to establish the run, that's going to take a whole lot of pressure off your receiving core.
And I think you're right, but then against certain teams. But against
any team, really.
Yes, but against teams that have a better run defense and against teams that can pressure the quarterback, it's not going to be enough. Right?
I don't know. I think this is one of the best front sevens in football.
Our offensive line, really? You mean our defense?
Yeah, front sevens, defense.
Sure, of course, right? And I don't think anyone's going to score 30 on us, right? But can we score 30 on everybody we play?
Most of the teams we play, yeah. I mean, in the regular season,
I could see another very similar Georgia Clemson game like we saw a couple years ago.
What you mean, like a low-scoring, one-score type thing?
We have a
turnover may decide it. Yeah.
Pete, we are playing a 4-game schedule. If you include Duke, right? And I don't. So a 3-game schedule. And that's Florida State at home, Notre Dame at home, and South Carolina on the road. Our regular season schedule includes 3 games. I don't give a fuck if we beat fucking.
So you have a 2-game schedule.
Well, yeah, right. So I don't care if we beat Miami by 3 points or if we beat fucking, I don't even know, North Carolina by 5 points. Who gives a shit? Well, win's a win. But in my mind, we have a 3-game schedule, and that's Florida State at home, Notre Dame at home, and South Carolina on the road. And so I'm not concerned about these other teams that we're going to run roughshod over. Yeah, okay, we can run for 350 yards against Duke or against fucking, Syracuse. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I think the schedule sets up favorably for Clemson, and the toughest games that they do have. What are all of their strengths on their teams? They're all offensive teams, right? Well, Clemson's strength is their defense, clearly. So I think that matches up well for Clemson too.
Notre Dame's strength is offense?
I would think so, yeah, with Hartman.
Yeah, okay. I think that quarterback position is going to make a bit of difference for Notre Dame's offense.
Yeah.
I think that we are going to be – I think it's fortunate that we played Notre Dame in early November because I think our defense is going to be in a really good place by that point.
And our offense should be better. Well, in theory, they should be better towards the end of the season than they are in the beginning, right?
Theory, and I think Garrett Riley is the reason for that.
Right.
But, man, fucking hell. I mean, I said that over the last couple of years, and our offense was just shit, and more shit.
Oh, again, that's why the starting quarterback transferred out and the coordinator got fired.
Look, man, Pete, I am extremely optimistic, and I think if I was doing a prediction video, I would say Clemson goes 12-0. No, would I say we win the national title? I would say we'd probably lose in the semifinals. I would say we'd probably go 13-0.
Well, I just won't say 12-0 because statistically that's not the case. But
I would.
Yeah, I don't ever pick a team to go undefeated.
I think we're going to go 12-0. But do I think we're going to win the national title? No. But if we drop a game, am I going to be shocked? No, man.
No, I don't know. Nobody should ever be shocked for losing a game.
Well, the issue is if we're 11-0 and then we lose that game, I'm gonna be a fucking angry bastard, dude.
Yeah. Well,
I don't understand your fear of that game. They literally beat you once in the last 10 years.
I know, and it was by 1 point on some lucky fumbles on the fucking. Look, I'm not. You know it's an irrational fear.
You know what's much more likely? Miami beating Florida State. Because that series tends to go back and forth like that.
But son, you understand that it's an irrational fear, right?
Well, I get it's irrational. I'm not. A lot of things with you are irrational. I'm not debating that.
Yeah, I'm right. Thank you very much. Likewise, my friend. But, you're the king of irrational fears. But what I'm saying is that, fucking hell, man. If we. Moving on. I can't even.
Oh, I'm gonna be fucking with Volusia all the way through November now.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Hey, are you talking about Florida State that's beating LSU or Florida State that's losing LSU and taking Clemson to the wire in the Valley? Which Florida State are we talking about?
I think they're not going to take Clemson to the wire, and they're going to lose to LSU.
There you go.
I think Florida State is a house card. I'm having a hard time determining whether the most overrated team for the season is Florida State or Tennessee.
And you said South Carolina a minute ago.
I said they're in the conversation.
Yeah.
They're going to go 8-4.
No, they're just delusional.
Well, yeah. My problem with Florida State is I think they've hit, and I've said this before, I think they've hit the pinnacle of probably what you're able to do building a team through the transfer portal.
Well, they do have some good receivers, and the quarterback's really good too. I think that's where a lot of the hype's coming from. I fall somewhere in the middle. I don't think they're going to be as bad as you say they are, but I'm not as high on them as a lot of other people.
Bad. I said, what was it, Friday? I think they're going to be probably somewhere 8 or 9 wins.
Well, based on the expectation for Florida State this year, that would be a bad year.
Yes, but that doesn't mean the expectations are unfounded.
Yeah.
Well, their expectations are unreasonable, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're being picked to win the ACC, and some people are even picking them to make the playoffs, and I just don't know where that's coming from.
Perfect example. I've heard a lot of people say it's a foregone conclusion. Oh, Florida State won by 45 against Miami last year, so they're going to beat Miami this year. Well, we beat them by 45 in 2020, and then they turned around and won on a Hail Mary at the end in 21. So, like I said, that's a much closer rivalry. I mean, even if you look at the win-loss record, Miami only holds a 2-game lead against Florida State. It's completely lopsided with Clemson and South Carolina.
Yes, that's correct. Pete, I'll tell you this. So I was back home in Florida for a few days, and I made sure to wear a Clemson shirt every day. And I was just hoping that a Florida State fan would come up to me and say, "Oh, we're going to kick your ass this year," and it didn't happen. Right? I was,
That's disappointing.
Yeah, I was disappointed, but I was just ready. Just lay into that motherfucker and say,
God, people call me a shit stirrer.
You know what's interesting? At least the Florida State fans that I've had contact with, on YouTube and on Twitter and stuff, they don't seem to be as high on Florida State as everybody else is. A guy even said yesterday to me on Twitter, he said, I don't believe that Florida State's going to beat Clemson until I see it happen, because it's been 7 years. This would be 8 years.
Yeah.
This would be 9 years. They ducked us. Remember they ducked us?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I need prayers from you and Volusia and everybody. My in-laws are Florida State fans.
Oh.
Bless your heart.
Well, and it's
So when that game goes around, I go in that hiding.
It's kind of like I said earlier about Duke. I mean, people are just looking at the record, the win-loss record. I mean, that was an absolute embarrassment, the way they played against NC State, the way they played against Florida, the way they played against Oklahoma.
Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this team has got problems.
I will say this. I'm just going to interject this. So my in-laws are Chinese, and so they support whatever team I support because they don't know fucking none the wiser. And so, it's all good.
Did you see, I was talking about this on the Midday show Friday, the Phil Steele thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has Clemson. He has Clemson at number 2. And
Who's eating the microphone?
I don't know. He had Clemson at number 2. He had Tennessee at 19, and I think he had Iowa at like 14 or something.
And he had Clemson where?
2.
In the nation.
Yeah.
Well, that was his end of season.
Yeah, so it's his prediction for. So he believes that Clemson's a national championship contender if he has him at 2.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it was a silly list, but I mean, I don't even agree with that. I wouldn't have him 2, but
I would put us somewhere around 7.
I would not be surprised at all if Clemson makes the playoffs, because I think it, to me, despite what's going on in elsewhere in the country, I think the playoff committee has already pretty much proven they'll put a one-loss Clemson in that's ACC champ.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends on what the other teams are that are in the running for it. But yeah, you can lose a game.
I do think they get in over a Pac-12 champ that's in the same circumstance.
One thing is how you lose and when you lose too. If your loss is a 3-touchdown loss at the very end of the season, then that's what's fresh on their mind. They're less likely to put you in that case.
Right, like if you're
I think you've got the ACC championship.
Sealed by fucking Iowa or Purdue by 50 points, and that's why they didn't make the playoff, right?
Here's why I'll disagree with you. TCU lost the Big 12 championship and still got in.
In overtime, right? In overtime.
What's up with Vic with all the counter punches today?
No, that was from.
He knows he's full of shit.
No, that was from SpongeBob. But yeah.
Okay. Say it again.
Yeah, I said that was from SpongeBob.
Do it again.
Yeah,
I want to hear the impression.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it again, I guess.
Of course, it's only funny the first time.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm saying, if it was even funny the first time, what I'm saying is like, so yeah, TCU lost in overtime, and they deserved to get into the college football playoff given the situation, right? In fact, if we had beaten South Carolina, we would have been in.
Well, okay, in that case, why have conference championships then if they don't matter, if there's no repercussions?
They are stupid, but, it is what it is.
No, I think the playoff committee's stupid.
College football is stupid, man.
Well, it's not a prerequisite to win your championship, but it does give you points in your column if you do. That's the way that they explain it.
I think it should matter is when you lose.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, TCU proved that they belonged in the playoffs by beating Michigan, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, think Cincinnati earned their way in too, and I disagree. I mean, just because Ohio State ended up winning it all when they backdoored their way in, or Alabama, doesn't mean they deserve to be there. Just because you went out in a couple of one-win scenarios, loser goes home situations, that doesn't mean you deserve to be there.
So we're getting this is the philosophical argument that happens every year, right? The best versus the most deserving type of thing.
So, again, I'm just going to say this real quick. I feel like it has to be a matter of resume and not a matter of perception. That just is what it is. You can tell me that.
You agree with me?
Yeah, Slim, you and I agree on football stuff. So, at the end of the day, a 9-3 Alabama or Florida team wants to bitch and whine about how they were the quote unquote the best team, or they would have been favored in Vegas. I don't give a fuck. Like you should have won the games that were in front of you or that were on your schedule. So if you didn't do that, then fuck you.
Unfortunately, I have to go. So. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
Appreciate it.
Yep, and I'll be back tonight, everybody, at 10 p.m. right here on this channel for the Lunch Money Show. I think Lou's going to try to join me. He's not at home, but I think he's going to call in. So that's it.
I'll step off first. Slim, good to talk with you again. Vic as well, and Pete, of course, always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. All right. See you later, buddy.
Yep.
He left out his Clemson brethren down there in the corner. How rude.
Yeah. How rude.
I'm always left behind.
Well, I didn't forget about you, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't forget about you either, buddy. I appreciate you coming on. It was good to talk to you again.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been a while.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, have a good one.
You too.
All right. VicTube, any last words, buddy?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you.
Oh yeah, I guess you should. I did a text preview with Homegrown Cowboy. If y'all want to check that out, but yeah.
You did a Texas preview?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go check that out. Texas preview with homegrown cowboy. All right. I wonder if you agree with me. Are you as high? Well, you know what? I'll watch the video. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll find out that way. I don't want you to spoil it.
VicTube's video and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way. So.
Yep.
All right. See you later, Vic. All right, Slim.
Pleasure as always.
Yes, sir. I'll see you soon.
Toodles.
Bye. Yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks for all the people that came on the show, and of course, all the people that participated in the comments section. And again, I'll be back tonight at 10 p.m. for the Lunch Money Show. See you later.